And then I did a test that basically tells you if you are susceptible to mold. Of course, in that moment, we're like, okay, another person says they found what's making me sick.
Oh, yeah, sure. The last couple of people were wrong.
Exactly. And both of my parents are like my heroes, because how many people would rip all their stuff out and put hardwood floors and spend money on something like that for their child with headaches?
I just want to encapsulate this.
Yes.
I do think that it's important for people to advocate for themselves also.
Absolutely.
And really think for themselves and get 2 or 3 different outside perspectives and opinions and think
Go down
about
every possible route.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt.
You guys went out of your way and advocated for yourself. You really went and looked. And I think I want to encourage anybody that watches this show to kind of open your mind up and look for a way and fight for yourself.
Yeah. And I think that goes the medical route, absolutely, but everything. Advocate for yourself, fight for what you believe in, fight for what you need. And in this case, I was a teenager. It was hard to advocate for myself just on the level of mom, dad, doctor, I really am sick. I'm not faking this.
Welcome back to the Rick Hopper Show. But to be clear, this is not the Rick Hopper Show. Today it's the Mary Kohaut Show. Isn't every day the Mary Kohaut Show in your house?
I mean, in my life, yes.
Yeah, I mean, your mom is sitting right here.
I'm definitely the favorite child.
Do we need to get her up here and tell us?
She's already told the brothers. They know.
So this is truly the Mary Kohaut Show. So Mary is a longtime friend of ours. We've known her since she was a littler girl than she already still is. So Mary is currently, you know what? Tell you what, you guys hear from me all the time. Mary Kohaut, tell us what you're doing this year. It's 2024. We try not to date these videos, and most of the people that I interview, the wisdom we get, the experiences, the personal experiences that we stumble across with all these interviews, many people identify with what has happened in your life and what's going on in your world today. But because this is a time-sensitive situation, it is currently March 2024, and you just won something recently.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I competed for Miss California Volunteer late February. February 18th was our finals night, and I won. I was very blessed to be chosen among an amazing group of ladies. And now I head to Miss Volunteer America this June to compete for that title, the national title. And right now I am covering the state of California, and I hope to
represent the entire United States for Miss
States.
Volunteer America.
Exactly.
Okay. What's the difference between Miss America and Miss Volunteer America?
There really is not a huge difference. I always tell people when they ask me.
So you've competed in Miss California also, which is the Miss America organization.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So
is that a great experience also?
Amazing experience. I recommend it to any young woman who qualifies to compete in a pageant, whether they're doing it to win or they're doing it to make friends or to gain lifelong experiences.
Great community.
It is. I always tell people immediately when I get into it, it's not toddlers and tiaras. Because when I first competed, I was expecting to walk backstage and have mean girls, sabotaging dresses and not wanting to support each other.
Come on, tell us there's a little bit of that.
You know what? Like in life, every once in a while you run into something like that. But I would say 99.
You uncover some horns once in a while. That's not all halos.
Yeah. For me, I have never experienced negativity backstage.
Okay.
I always say that the girls you're competing against are your biggest cheerleaders. And technically, we're not competing against each other. Yes, only one girl walks away with a crown at the end of the day. But you're competing against yourself. You're trying to improve every time you come back. Another saying we say is different judges, different girl.
So it's not like a bingo game where all the old ladies hate the old lady that won the bingo game?
Yeah, no.
It's not like that.
Most of the time, I mean, come on. Everybody's going to be a little bummed when you don't walk away with a sparkly hat.
Especially if you got really close.
Yes.
You've been there.
It's tough. Yeah, absolutely. And these ladies put their heart and soul, so much hard work into it. And in the long run, it's so worth it because even if you spend your entire life competing, and you don't win a title, you've still gained so much from the experience.
How did Miss America leave the door open for a volunteer Miss America? How do you say it?
It's Miss America and then Miss Volunteer America.
And okay, so Miss California Volunteer
Yes.
is part of the Miss Volunteer America organization.
Correct.
How could an organization that's been around so long, like Miss America, leave the door open for another organization that's so similar?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say they left the door open. I think just pageantry overall, there are so many systems out there. You can't even you can't even begin to comprehend how many there
So,
are.
you mean there's Miss America, Miss Volunteer America,
Miss
Miss
USA,
USA,
NAM,
Miss Universe,
there's a
Miss.
million. And because you can be a baby competing, toddlers and tiara kind of pageants, you can
Okay.
be in your 80s competing, and there's pageants for you too. And I think once you're introduced into the world, it really is a different lifestyle.
Okay. You have experience with the Miss America organization and the Miss Volunteer America, Miss America Volunteer organization.
Volunteer America, you got it.
I don't know how much you're allowed to tell if you're under non-disclosure or whatnot, but I'm going to ask you a few questions about how do you win? I mean, if you're pretty, if you're athletic, if you have a talent, a skill, and all that stuff, I like to give the world a little glimpse into how they're rated and graded to become a winner.
Yeah. So for our viewers, those of you who don't know, this man has judged pageants before. So he knows. He knows the behind the scenes.
I've judged one local pageant.
Yeah. It was when I gave up my title. I got very lucky.
And you know what? It's weird. I couldn't believe it. I actually voted for somebody I completely disagreed with.
Yep.
Because it really is a pure process. The rating process.
Yes. And I say it every time. I would never want to be a judge because I know these girls backstage. I know who they truly are, not what you see as a judge or what the audience sees of them on stage. These are the most talented, well-rounded, intelligent
Not all of them.
women.
I've been to these pageants. Some of them are trying.
Some of them are beginners. Some of them are in it for a different experience. But a majority of these girls they are going places.
Yeah.
As far as the competition
how
goes,
do I win?
Yeah, how do you win?
Not I win. How do you win?
You could win, Rick. You could win.
Oh no! Listen, when
it's 2024.
You know what? A lot of times I go speak at different organizations, and I don't know if you remember this, but when you were 18, I came and spoke.
I remember very clearly at my National Charity League meeting.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
I walked in there and I said to all these 18-year-old girls, first of all, I don't know why they picked me, because I'm a gray-haired old white guy, and they asked me to come talk to these girls, and I decided, you know what? I have 3 granddaughters. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to tell these girls all the stuff that I'm going to tell my granddaughters if I could divulge wisdom and a perspective from a male. But I made the mistake of starting off my talk with, now when I was a little girl.
And it was hilarious.
Which used to be funny. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. So.
You got a few laughs from the
okay,
17,
I'm sorry. Let's get back to Mary.
This
is the Mary Kohaut show. I'm so sorry.
I am a big fan of the Rick Hopper shows. So.
Okay. So, but how do you win?
Okay, yeah. So you mentioned before, you have to be pretty, you have to be athletic. False. So first of all, I am a strong believer in everything happens for a reason. And when you are awarded a title, it's a huge responsibility. And so girls walking in the door, first of all, need to be prepared for a year of service. And that's what it's all about. Now, your physical look, sure. If you can walk on a stage and you're beautiful, you're going to catch some eyes. You're going to catch attention. And that's wonderful. But I would say in both the organizations I've competed in, it's truly the inner beauty. And I know that's so hard to believe because we're walking on stage and we're asking people to judge us, which is bizarre when you think about it. But when we go out for fitness, for example, now Miss America does not have swimsuit anymore. They used to. Now they have a fitness competition where you wear athletic wear. And then Miss Volunteer America has the swimsuit competition. And now a lot of people look at this and they say, okay, we're judging women on stage. You're judging us in every aspect of the competition. It's not just the swimsuit. So if we want to talk about, okay, well, let's not demean women. Let's not put them in this situation. The entire aspect of a pageant, whether you like it or not, is looking at a woman and finding out if she's the right person for the job. And that involves an aspect of judgment.
Okay, a sneak peek in what percentage of the overall score is swimsuit? Say just
Yeah, so for Miss Volunteer America, they are looking for a very well-rounded woman. So it's 25% fitness, which is the swimsuit competition.
pretty big,
25% interview, which is a 10-minute interview where you go in and get
but that's a
asked.
private interview behind the
private-
scenes.
yeah.
Nobody ever sees, right?
Sometimes it depends on the day. I know that at the national competition, there will be clips shared to give the audience a little inside look into what goes on behind the scenes with the judges. But yes, for the majority of it, it's private. No one sees it but you and those 5 to 7 judges.
Okay.
So that's interviews 25%, your talent is 25%, and your evening wear is 25%. When it comes to Miss America, the
Okay, back to
scores
talent
are a
real
little
quick.
different.
Okay, to the talent. You have somebody that drags a grand piano onto the stage. You have somebody that grabs a microphone
Yep.
and sings a song.
Yep.
You have somebody that has a baton. They flip a baton around, they throw the baton up, and they do all kinds of tricks and
Soccer
somersaults.
players,
You name it.
boxers, speed
And
painters.
I've seen some of them go up there and go, "My name is ...
a poem.
and
a
here's what I
monologues.
think." And monologue. So, is the actual talent itself? Do you think it's secretly like if you were the ultimate monologue and everybody in the place erupted in tears because it was such an amazing monologue,
Yeah.
but it was a monologue?
I think talent is talent. Yes.
Okay, I don't care what you think on this one. I want to know typically, what does a judge? Is a judge going, well, you know what?
I'll tell you this. I don't know what a judge would typically be looking for. A lot of the times, pageants will give their judges a brief overview of, I want this, this, and this in my title holder. Directors are not going to say, I want contestant number 6. That's not how it works. I know there's a lot of questioning of cheating behind the scenes and things, and I truly don't believe that, because I don't think judges would stay silent if that were the case, because they'd be, why am I here if you already know who you want? So yes, they give an outline of what they're looking for in their title holder, because you work with them for a year, and these organizations are volunteer based. They're not making
And they
money.
might actually represent your entire state
Exactly
for a year.
And it's not only your state, but it's a business. You are the face of an entire organization, and you now represent their opinions. You now represent them as a whole, and they want a representative who's going to do the best possible job. And so, yes, they give judges specific criteria. You never know. Maybe the directors go in and they say, we do want a singer this year. We want to get as many national anthem events as possible. And so we'd really love a singer.
Oh, you like
if
a
someone
singer.
was
Kind of hard to get a
capable.
grand piano onto the ball field.
Exactly. It's different. I played the drums. I've never played the drums as a talent, because as a title holder, it's not very realistic that I would be
so there it
going
is.
out
That's
and
what I'm
performing
looking
that.
for.
But
A drummer, the best drummer. You can go play for Van Halen.
Drummers have won
Knock
titles.
it off.
Yeah.
Are you
No, I don't know
serious?
about a national title, but I know for a fact we've had state title holders that are drummers.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I get it. And I've always had this hunch that's like, I mean, I've left some pageants. We've been involved with this pageant thing for quite a while. We actually sponsored the 2017 Miss California, Jillian Smith.
Who's amazing.
We've known
Shout
since
out.
before she was born.
Yeah.
I don't know how you know somebody before they're born, but we did.
They were, yeah, wow.
So, and that's actually how, isn't that how you got involved?
That absolutely is.
So we introduced you to the Smith family.
We were at Kimmy's for breakfast. You were not there.
Little shout out to Kimmy's in Brea.
Little shout out to Kimmy's. Sponsor us. It was my mom, myself, and your beautiful wife, Diane. And I was going through a whole thing in life that we
might want to get into that in just a little bit.
Yeah. But it was one of those times in life where I was looking for something to put myself into entirely. And Diane knows me very well. Known me for 5-6 years prior to this point. I was 17 years old. And she said, you should sign up for a pageant. We know Jillian Smith, a former Miss California. We've been involved for a long time supporting her, and she's amazing. She's so much like you. I could totally see you loving this. And so I went home. I signed up online, and 2 weeks before the pageant.
Just like that?
Yeah, I told my mom, by the way, I signed up for a pageant. So 2 weeks, you guys are going to a show. And I had a little bit of outside help to reach out to a few people from school that I know that did pageants in different systems.
Okay.
And then they gave me some pointers. They helped me kind of know what I was walking into.
Okay.
And I will never forget, I walked in. This pageant was a day-long pageant. I believe it was 10 to 12 girls. And it's called an open title, which means anyone in California can compete.
Okay, you don't have to live in their
city.
town.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I walk into you go into like a separate holding room before interview, and that's just to avoid girls talking about, oh my God, the judge asked me this, or they're asking a lot of politics, they're
Okay.
asking a lot of this.
I thought they did that on me when I went on Shark Tank. A lot of
Yes,
privacy. I'm like a little jail cell.
exactly. It's a jail cell. And so I walked in and I was so nervous. I felt the best I could be. My mom helped me do my hair. I'm in a great outfit. I felt like the best possible version of Mary walking into that. And you know me, I'm someone who every experience I have, I'm just going to go in and make the best of it,
Yeah.
whether I
I love
succeed
that
or
about you.
fail. And so I walk in the room and there's about 3 other girls who are going to go in to interview prior to me. And they immediately go, oh my God, have you competed before? You look amazing. You look like a title holder. And
You
I was like,
walked in there with enough confidence where they didn't just see you, they felt you.
yeah, well, not only that, but just the way I looked, I had successfully portrayed a pageant girl. And prior to that, I was
And you were really an
wearing
undercover
cap.
cop, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I
Just
was undercover. I was getting the
Anyway,
inside
actually,
look.
there's a movie about that. So.
Yeah, Miss Congeniality. If you haven't seen
Okay.
it, you have homework. So I walked in and I'm expecting competition. I played sports all my life. I went to an all-girls school. I
Yeah.
have 2 brothers.
And you
I
looked
was
around and
yeah.
said, these girls are scared of me.
No, it wasn't that. It
Oh.
was that, oh my God, they're nice. Why are they complimenting me?
Oh.
Are
I
they
see where you're going.
lying? Why are they being so nice to me? And then I'm saying, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I've never done this before. They're like, you're lying. You've absolutely done this before. And it was just so much love and support. It was almost more nerve-wracking because I just didn't understand what was happening.
You guys are playing me, aren't you?
Exactly. And then the competition went on and I had this one girl, I'll just say her first name, Victoria, and she came up to me backstage after my talent and she came into the changing room and she whispered in my ear, you're going to win. And I literally laughed in her face.
Yeah,
because I was like, okay, sure,
you don't
whatever.
win your first pageant.
Yes. And sure enough, they crowned me and I remember them saying, and she's going to Miss California
Did
this
you
June.
even know enough to
No.
cry? Did you realize what you'd
I teared
won?
up a little bit just because it was like, oh my God, what's happening? But I didn't even realize that I would be going to Miss California. I learned the second they put the crown on my stage and the MC announced
Oh, you're
it.
going to fight for Miss California. She's like, whoa.
I was like, what did I just sign up for? And I remember standing on the stage, holding my flowers, the photographer's yelling at me, and I see my dad in the corner, and he goes, and I just shrug my shoulders. And I'm like, I don't understand what just happened. The other best part is that my grandfather went, and he passed away about 4 years ago, but he went to this pageant. And obviously I wasn't sitting next to him, but my mom tells the story that the whole pageant, he was grumbling and making very inappropriate old man comments about the girls I'm competing against. And as soon as they put the crown on my head, he's on the phone with every friend he can get a hold of. My granddaughter just won. Like, he was my biggest fan. But yeah, it was a shocking first experience jumping into it. And then I got unbelievably lucky with some of the best directors in the game. And your directors are who kind of guide you through the whole process. They're in charge of those local competitions. Got the best sister title holders, the best teen title holder. And
I met some of them.
Yes.
They're amazing people.
They're in it for the right reasons. They care about the girls. And then my sister title holders, I always say, I think the reasoning behind why the girls are so nice and why everyone actually gets along is, yes, there's always that aspect of competition, and some girls go full competition mode and they don't want to talk to you, but that doesn't mean they're mean. They're just there to win, and that's fine. Everybody handles it differently. But I truly think the real reason that it's not like high school where there's cattiness and drama, it's because we're all like-minded women. We're all there for the same reason. We all know that we're competing against each other. It's not a secret.
I noticed also in all these pageants, and that you have to come prepared for, or you have to select a platform.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the platforms.
Yes. So that's one of my favorite parts of competing in pageants. Something a lot of people, the whole thing is, okay, it's just the competition. You just compete on stage, look pretty, and get a sparkly crown. So for Miss Volunteer America, it's called our Serve Initiative. And it's basically something you're passionate about, you care about, or maybe an organization you're already involved in that you want to spend your year of service really focusing in on. So mine, since
stuff you volunteer for and get involved with physically. It's not just an idea. This is organizations.
Yeah. And the name changes among lots of systems, but for Miss America, it was a platform, and then it was a Serve Initiative, and then it was I don't even know. They changed it 5 times, but it's the same thing.
So what's your current Serve Initiative?
My current Serve Initiative, I'm kind of between names right now, but I have supporting our military and first responders. Let's serve those who serve us.
I have a great idea for you
I really
that
need your
a
marketing
cop
mind.
friend of mine is getting involved with, that he's doing some training.
Love that.
It's like it's like the buddy system. Cops spend a lot of time alone in their cop cars, and they got a target on their back, and they're human beings. They have a soft inner. Most of them all are just they're human beings that pick the job
Isn't
to
that
serve.
shocking?
Yeah, and their suicide is a real deal.
Yeah.
Between military and first
So
responders.
in the last 5 years, it's gone down about 3, I believe. Today, the number is 17 suicides this is for veterans specifically a day. But a lot of organizations, I believe there's one called 22 a day, because I want to say around
I've
2010.
heard, and it's just heart-wrenching. It's just tragedy.
It's so sad.
So we're talking about building an app. It's almost like a dating app, same concept.
But for friends.
But
Support.
because you don't have to dance with everybody, but you have to dance with somebody. You have to have that one person that you can go confide in, that you can tell all your secrets to and your fears. Because you can't have fear or anxiety. You're not allowed to show that. But when you hide it and you bury it, it becomes real. Anyway, great initiative, and we'll talk more about that.
Yes, definitely.
So let's talk about how Mary got here.
Okay.
When you think about the Mary that walked into that first room, beautiful, confident, you didn't build yourself. You were raised by a couple of people that are married. You were protected. You're like the bologna sandwich between two brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Two brothers? Yeah, two brothers, Johnny and Charlie.
Yeah.
I called you out by name. Sorry, guys. But they were influences. So I believe that we are a perfect recipe. Our entire makeup, the way we feel, the way we think, the way we look out our belief window in our life, we are a sum total, or should I say, we are an algebraic equation of all of our influences, our upbringing, our education, our friendships, the people that we pick to hang around with. So at that age,
I got lucky.
You did get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I know your people. At that age, the vast majority of your influences were the people that lived in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about, let's go one by one. Dad, mom, Johnny, Charlie.
Order of who I like the most?
Favorite? No. Favorite personality trait of each that you feel like has been a big part of your recipe.
Way to put me on the spot.
Can you do it?
Okay. I'm going to start with Johnny.
I don't care who you start with. We'll cover them all.
So Johnny is my oldest brother. He is in the military, and he's who inspired all my pageant platform stuff. And I would say favorite personality trait, something that I've taken from him that I just love it so much about him, is he's a very intellectual, intelligent person.
Genius. Literal, actual genius.
He's so smart. He's so unbelievably smart. And when I love having conversations with people, whether it's politics, religion, social issues, morals, just your favorite food, whatever it is, I love having conversations with people, especially when they disagree with me. When we have different opinions, I always go into a situation with, I'm not going to change your opinion. That's not the goal of my conversation. My goal is to understand yours and for you to understand mine, and for us to come to an agreement that it's an opinion and that's okay.
There's a proverb that encapsulates that perfectly.
Say it.
Iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another.
Yes, exactly. You learn from each other.
You don't have to agree.
I think it's ridiculous when people go into, you argue and try to get someone to switch sides.
So you've been fighting with your brother for a little while, and he's made you a better person because of it?
I mean, yes. But Johnny, when he goes into a conversation with someone, that is who he is. He never forces his opinion on someone, even though I know without a doubt he could spit out 10,000 statistics and facts to crush what they're saying. He never does that.
He doesn't lose too many arguments.
He doesn't. And I think that's a testament to his intelligence.
Because he's so well thought and well spoken and very cautious in his words.
And building off of that, one of the other things I take from him is he never argues something or shares an opinion when he does not have the facts and evidence to back it up.
Yeah.
And I think if we could all live by that a little more.
So when his mouth is open and he's talking,
he knows what he's talking about.
Sure of what he's talking
about.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's the best. Can you tell I love him? I don't know.
He is good. He's good.
My gosh. Okay, Charlie is also ridiculously intelligent. He's probably my best friend.
You're on a genius sandwich.
I'm in a genius sandwich. I don't know what happened in between, how we screwed up with me, but these two kids they're not kids, they're adults. These two guys are the smartest people I know. Charlie's a kid. I'm a kid. But Charlie is very resilient and determined. He's a very quiet guy, and he gets a lot of about it because I just bleeped myself out. Did you hear that? I
I
said he
heard
gets a
all of
lot of
it. You
about
didn't.
it.
That's okay.
He gets comments about how quiet he is or things like that. And I always like to say he's not going to talk unless he's got something to say. He's not someone like me who just talks to keep silences away and all these things. He's very, again, like my other brother, very smart, intellectual kid. But he has gone through some issues getting into colleges and his life path
Oh yeah.
changing. And this
I
kid,
should interview him
oh my
because
God, you
his
should.
experience about all this pretty. It's going to turn him into something that he never imagined he could
Oh
be.
yeah.
Even though
He could be the president, he could be an astronaut, he could be a
and
doctor,
he might
could
be
be
all. He
whatever he
could still
wanted to
be all
be.
of those actually.
He still could. But he worked his butt off for school because he knew what he wanted. He fought for the top level of what he could get and ended
what
up
did he
not
end up with a
achieving it.
grade point average?
He had 4.8.
4.8?
4.8, all AP courses, 6 years of math in high school, cross country varsity captain, along with playing basketball and track. He volunteered at St. Jude's. He was in Boy State. He was trying to get into West Point until he changed his mind that he didn't want to go the military route. So top of the top of schools, right? Did not get into one. So
okay,
moving aside
we'll
from
get
that,
to Charlie
yeah.
later, but let's talk about Charlie's resilience.
Charlie's resilient, yeah, and sometimes
So
he doesn't
you
even know
use
it.
as many words as required to keep the silence away, and he keeps the silence to keep as many words inside because he owns them.
Yeah, he's even had
That's
to tell
okay.
me, "Hey, Mary, knock it off. I can speak for myself."
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm probably the reason why he's quiet. We've kind of come to that conclusion.
You stole all the
I
words.
stole all the words. Yeah.
Sucked all the oxygen out of him, and then here comes Charlie. There's nothing left for him.
Yep,
That's
exactly.
not true. That's not true.
My mom and dad. I'll quickly get to them. So I would say they kind of build off of each other because first
They're
of all,
a team. They're a great team.
Exactly. And they raised 3 children under different circumstances for each of us. We've all had our troubles and faced different things, different times. Whereas my mom is my best friend and we do everything with each other and tell everything to each other. She is someone who's strong and has more of that emotional side to her. Where
Small package, but powerful.
Exactly. Yeah. And she's where I get my powerful voice from, just to brag about her a little bit. Where my dad is a little bit on the less emotional side. So where he's like, hey, yeah, I know, right?
So what, you're talking about Shirtless John,
Shirtless
right?
John, exactly. People who don't understand that are going to be so confused. It's not weird, I swear.
He just likes to take his shirt off when you
play.
If we're playing basketball or cornhole or anything, he just likes to take his shirt off.
When I was in high school, I had friends come over so often, and he was never in a shirt that they started calling him Shirtless John, and it has stuck. 10 years now? It's ridiculous.
That's great.
But he kind of balanced out my mom with the opposite side. So when we'd face issues in school or with friends and you came to both of them, you could get the perfect advice just by combining what they were both saying. So, I mean, they went through the ringer with all 3 of us. We've all been a pain in the butt at some point in our lives. So
let's switch over to something that kind of was part of who you were. You had some illness as a young lady.
I was a very expensive child.
You were an expensive child. You're probably going to be an expensive wife, I'm guessing.
Yeah, bride, wife,
bring that tiara
mother,
in there.
all of it.
But you're a winner. How
sure.
about that? No, somebody's going to score. I can't wait to meet him when he shows up.
Yeah. Wherever you are.
So, how old were you when you started getting sick?
Well, I mean, if you want to take it back to the beginning, 5th grade.
Let's give us the Reader's Digest version. If you're under 40, you may not know what a Reader's Digest is. We'll explain it to you on another video.
The quick version. I had mono when I was younger. Got it a few more times. You're not supposed to get mono more than once, according to medical professionals. And so we were like, why? I was then experiencing terrible migraines to the point where I could not get out of bed. It was affecting my mental health, obviously my physical health. And I ended up I don't want to say dropping out, but kind of. I
missed enough school to where it looked like homegirl dropped out.
Where they said, girl, what's going on with you? You're not here. And so I ended up switching over to a home hospital homeschooling program for kids who are facing chronic illnesses.
What year in high school were you when you
I had 2 months of normal freshman year of high school.
Freshman?
I was obsessed with it. And about 2 months in, I'll never forget the day I was running sprints up Acacia Hill in the heat for basketball practice, and a migraine hit me like a truck. And it was the first day I ever experienced one, to the point where I had to go hide in the bathroom because the coaches were like, keep going, keep going. And I was like, I am going to pass out. I do not feel good. And I don't think of myself as a wimp. I'm a pretty like, hey.
You're not a quitter.
Yeah,
You
I'm
are
in pain.
in
I'm going to keep going,
excruciating
right?
pain.
I thought I was dying, and I'm 14, 15 years old. I don't know what's going on. And so I went home and I was down for 2 weeks, sick. And throughout that process, it would be like a good day here, 10 bad days, a good day here, 15 bad days. And half of me was like, what's wrong with me? Do I just not want to go to school? Do I have a flu? Is it mono again? What's going on? So again, long story short, I went to every possible doctor you could think of. Neurologist, allergist, homeopathic doctors, literal ENT, everything you could think of. Brain scans, body scans, and everyone was like, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. It got to the point where when I saw a neurologist, he told me to see a therapist. And at that point in my life, I said, okay, sure. If I'm crazy, that's fine. Fix me. Because
did anybody ever find anything physically wrong with you?
We had like 1 or 2 times where a doctor was like, I have found the cure. I found the reason you're sick. And they didn't. Until senior year of high school, we switched over to a more holistic route of medicine. And it was the first time a doctor not only looked at the fact that, hey, could you eat a little better? Let's try fueling your body with better food.
Lord.
We talk to doctors about that all the time. I was like, I don't feel good. I eat comfort food. That's what I eat. And they're like, nah, that's not the reason.
Oh.
And that just kind of puts things into perspective. But this doctor said, after several tests, could you have mold in your house? And my mom was like, well, we've only had about 3 floods. And didn't properly take care of them. And so she's like, yeah, we probably do have mold in our house. And so we never physically saw mold, but as we studied and studied, my mom studied every dang podcast, article, book, person that she could to figure out what was wrong with me. She did not give up once. And without her, I probably would still be sick in bed and not have a life.
Okay, so did
it
look
ended
for and find mold in the house?
So we did like some petri dish tests, and we ended up ripping out all the carpet and replacing it with hardwood floor. And then I did a test that basically tells you if you are susceptible to mold. So I believe it's 22%, something around there, is susceptible to mold, where it goes into your body and it doesn't process out like normal. So whereas you would have mold go into your body and your body would say, hey, I don't want this here, let's work it out. My body was like, nah, I can stay. And it was making me sick. And not only that, but I was living in the environment. I'm sick. I don't feel good. I lay in bed and sit in a mold-filled room.
Oh.
And so it was just a never-ending cycle. So I did IV treatments, basically just filling my body with good stuff. And I started...
so you went. They did IVs to try to flush your entire system.
Yeah, I went and got IVs twice a week. I at this point was totally out of school. I was doing it all online. I didn't have teachers. I taught myself. And there was points.
You probably avoided a few bad influences doing that.
Probably, honestly.
Just guessing.
It definitely changed the way my mind works. Had to figure it out on my own, you know?
Yeah.
But
which is not the worst way to develop your mind.
No, absolutely
I mean, most
not.
people are programmed by someone else.
Yeah.
And you may have gotten lucky. You know what? That whole experience with the mold and the illness.
Like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, could be very interesting.
Yeah. So I went through all of that.
They found it.
Yeah, and of course, in that moment, we're like, okay, another person says they found what's making me sick.
Oh yeah, sure.
And then
the last couple people were wrong.
Exactly. And both of my parents are like my heroes, because how many people would rip all their stuff out and put hardwood floors and spend money on something like that for their child with headaches?
I would hope a lot of parents
I would hope so too, but it doesn't always connect there. It didn't.
Oh, look, honey, you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah, well, I moved out for 3 months.
Oh.
While they did it all. I moved in with aunts and uncles and friends and just kind of switched between houses. And 3 months later, I came home and I was a different person.
Wow.
And it wasn't until I was helping my parents.
Okay, so I just want to encapsulate this.
Yes.
Modern medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And
which
doctors,
I'm not saying I don't believe in that.
I'm not suggesting that. But I do think that it's important for people
A
to advocate
balance.
for themselves also,
Absolutely.
and really think for themselves and get 2 or 3 different outside perspectives and
Mm-hmm.
opinions, and
Go
think
down every
about.
possible route.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt.
No, I tell you, I got a buddy that's got pancreatic cancer right now, and he was shit. They gave him 2 months to live, and they wanted to give him chemo, and he wouldn't take it, and
Yeah.
he's still alive, and he's fighting, he's working out, getting in good shape, it's a long story, but he did some things that nobody would think to do, and everything imaginable, and then he would have been dead a long time ago if we would have just taken the standard protocol.
Yeah.
He would have been dead in probably 5 days.
Absolutely.
He's
Yeah.
done a lot of research, so he advocated for himself. You guys went out of your way and advocated for yourself. You really went and looked, and I think I want to encourage anybody that watches this show to kind of open your mind up and look for a way and go deep in your mind and go and fight for yourself.
Yeah. And I think that goes the medical route, absolutely, but everything. Advocate for yourself, fight for what you believe in, fight for what you need. And in this case, I was a teenager. It was hard to advocate for myself just on the level of mom, dad, doctor, I really am sick. I'm not faking this. And if I did not have my mom specifically to say, "Hey, she's not lying. I know my
I
daughter."
trust my girl.
Yeah, and to fight these doctors and to keep
But
pushing.
here's the problem: the power of the mind is so cunning
Yeah.
that I've seen people literally give them. I can't believe I'm even saying this. Give themselves seizures
I believe
and
it.
force different weird, like subconsciously
The
creating
human
pain in their
body is
body
a
to
mystery.
get different types of medication because drug addiction is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
And what if little Mary didn't want to go to school? There's a chance she hates school so much she'll fabricate this BS. And thank God your mom.
Well,
She,
that's when that doctor said, "I recommend you see a therapist." And in my mind, I was like,
that's that doctor says, I don't believe you.
"Yeah."
I think you're
And to
crazy.
be fair, he was technically right. There was nothing in my brain. You know what I mean?
Right.
It didn't stem from there. For him to say that was a little crazy,
Yeah.
right?
How arrogant to say, I can't find the problem, so
So
you must
you're
be crazy.
yeah, you're a liar or you're crazy. And I went to this therapist and she sat down with my mom and said, "Maureen, there is something wrong with your daughter. She's not faking this." Like there were times where I sat on that couch and first of all, mental health and talking to a therapist or just anybody is so helpful because even though I wasn't crazy, I wasn't faking it. It gave me a chance to express all of the external stress and issues that I was facing with friends. I went to an all-girls school. You can just assume how that went when I didn't show up and didn't go to dances and didn't do any of the fun stuff. And then all of a sudden dropped out and was homeschooled.
So you graduated high school through testing out?
No, I graduated 4 years with like a high school diploma, not like a GED or anything like
Okay.
that. I just did it through a homeschooling organization, basically. I
Okay.
actually graduated. I went to a protein shake place and I graduated at the table drinking my protein shake. And I look
Yeah.
up, I go, "I just finished high school." They're
Uh,
like, "Yeah." And
and
then
you
I walked in my backyard.
put a little hat on and throw the hat up and
Yep.
do the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's great. So you are a drummer.
Yes.
You've played in bands. I've seen you play in a band
Yes.
quite a while ago, but I was like, the
That
first
was the
we
first time you
met
met
you.
me.
We met you
Yes.
at your gig, some backyard gig,
It
some
was a
friend's house.
church gig raising money for one of the girls to study abroad or something.
That's right.
Yep.
That's
Oh
right.
my God, you're right. That's the first time we met.
Wow, that's so fun. Anyway, blew my mind because I
Thanks.
never saw a girl drummer before
Yeah.
that.
We're
was
a
pretty
rare
good.
breed. Yeah, that was
That's
fun.
great. We could go all day because your life when you look at the future and you look at your life and you look at some of the things you're doing right now as a young lady. How old are you now?
23.
We allowed to ask? You're not allowed to ask old ladies that, but so 23. So this last like 14, 15, 16. So you think about 9 years of your life. It's a huge percentage of your life.
Yeah.
I am so excited about your future. I remember being 23, and it was a little while ago. But when I look backwards down the path of my life, and I look at all the things I've done in my life, and I think, and I put myself in your shoes, and look at some of the things you've had the guts to go do, and some of the hard stuff you've had to walk through. You get to carry wisdom with you for the rest of your life. You're learning how to treat people.
Mhm.
You're learning how to attract people to a cause. And you know what? It looks like, from what I can see, you're going places, and
Hopefully good places.
you're going amazing places. I'm super excited that you got to enjoy the Mary Kohout show.
The Mary Kohaut show, not the Rick Hopper show.
Hugs.
Hugs. We don't have mold in this house.